Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Fights. I am your host, Rob Jackson, and I will be walking us through the combat this evening. I hope everybody is having a good week. Personally, I am having a fairly excellent day. Easy. Permission granted. Come aboard. We're going to take our first battle in a relatively low tier cruiser. It's a tier 4 Dutch cruiser. Introduces the Dutch cruisers to the game. As you can see, we're queued up for a random battle, which looks like we've got a fairly active night tonight. I hope the week has treated everybody well, and we're now moving into a enjoyable weekend for most people. If Groucho's made it aboard yet, I know his weekend is actually in the middle of the week, so I feel for you, buddy. Nice. We do not have to worry about half the team being bots. Looks like we only got 3 bots per side. Dag, what up?
General quarters.
What do you dislike about this game, Dag? Well, trees, rocks, and greenery are kind of good things, aren't they? And of course, the water. I'll tell you what, the water in this is not nearly as well done as the water in Sea of Thieves. How's it going, Groucho? Hope your vacations prepared you for the onslaught of stupidity that is your support role. We have a carrier on each side, and we already have a dive bomber coming this way. And I do not have specialized anti-aircraft crews.
Enemy destroyer sighted. Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy battleship detected.
All right, he's turning in. Dive bombers chose a different target.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
I know that De Ruyter doesn't have torpedoes, so I don't have to worry about him. Still have two coming after me.
Enemy battleship sighted.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Oh, that sucks. I really wanted to get all my guns pointed at him.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Depending on if he's already used his damage control, I might get it. No, the fire's out. He used it now. Not a bad kickoff. You know, I'd like an ancient version of this game, but I don't. There is an Age of Sail game, not made by the same company. Oh, we lost our Wakeful. Not cool. Who's closest to me? Looks like the class one. So naturally,
The enemy team has taken the lead.
wow. That went to hell in a handbasket pretty quick. Oh, well, good for you. Now you're going to get to go see the people in the office. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is an Age of Sail version of this game. Not by this company. I can't tell you what the exact name of it is. But what I can tell you is it can be very frustrating to play a sail version of this game if they try to be in any way accurate to the movement of ships. Okay, the Fiji is a Tier 7 British light cruiser. As such, it does not have high explosive armament or armor-piercing armament. It's got what it calls armor-piercing shells, but they're actually semi-armor-piercing shells. Their purpose in life is to penetrate deeper before they explode, and as such do not have any real potential to start a fire. It's been a while since I've used this ship, so let's just make sure we can get it set up the way we want. Main battery turret rotation is 25.7 seconds. 15% is going to be 3 seconds, roughly, almost 4.5 seconds slower. So, just over 20 seconds. It's a possibility. She does have torpedoes, but she's not got highly rated torpedoes. Secondary armament range is 5.6 kilometer. There's no point in adding to that because her secondaries are going to be gosh awful. So it's either the AA defense is actually kind of good for a ship this tier without a AA consumable. I could put a fighter or a spotting aircraft on board, but the smoke actually is the most helpful. So I think I'm going to go with I don't want the torpedoes. I don't have the resources to buy the torpedo one. This makes my main battery more accurate, my secondary battery more accurate, and the torpedoes will shift aim faster. And she needs to be nimble because she is a fast, light cruiser. She needs to be able to get the hell out of Dodge. This is being recommended. Warning about a salvo fired from more than 4.5 kilometers away. I could honestly care less about that. I'm much more interested in being able to maneuver even if the engine is knocked out, because in this ship the engine gets knocked out quite a bit. Knowing if the enemy is targeting me at all is a good thing. But this right here, it'll make the hydroacoustic search last 10% longer, and the smoke generator last a little longer. I have 2 of those consumables. This one gives me extra charges on all my consumables. But now I have 5 points left. I can take one of these. Which are the suggested ones, and then hold my last point. Or I could spend those 5 points on these 2 right here. As the ship takes damage, my performance gets better, which is a good thing. Let's see how I did. 37,000 damage total. Second on the team. They manhandled us. Look at this team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still alive. One of them was a bot. A bot with 2 kills. Even if he killed 2 other bots, that's 2 kills by a bot. I did all the damage to the De Ruyter. And the St. Louis, I got about halfway to killing him. He was taking fire from another ship, so I retargeted. The Yubari I only hit with the one salvo to any great effect. Okay, well, we have camouflage, we have equipment, we have a trained captain. Let's take the Fiji out. At this tier, we should expect aircraft carriers. There's 7 waiting for a match, so we may have 2 per side. Ironically, while I was doing this midweek, just to get some wave time in, and again, happened here. We had 7 carriers waiting in our tier. None of them got selected for the battle. Makes my lack of specific AA not so bad a thing.
General quarters.
Let's give them a hard time. Good luck and fair seas.
Okay, we have 2 destroyers. One is coming this way from the center. The other is way over. Let's see. The Schultz is coming from the center to help us out. I'd rather have the Oland, to be honest, because I know its capabilities, but hey, beggars are not choosers. As you can see, this is a Tier 9 match for my Tier 7 ship. Although I do have the same potential to succeed, realistically speaking. Who put that flag on there? Realistically speaking, I'm going to register a lot of bounces on ships that are over my tier. One good thing is, being a light cruiser, she's not super visible. I'm hoping that the Schultz will spot enemy targets for me to shoot over this mountain. And if they do not, I can fall in behind the rune. The rune found targets. Can't shoot over that mountain. Dang it. Okay, I can get over this side of the mountain. I just need to see that ship. Gonna miss that one. Not a hit inside. How bad is our rune hurting? Completely. Talk about a S show. I'm fully expecting that Ibuki to come towards the cap. And he did not. See if I can get a few rounds in on that buffalo. Look at the number of ricochets. Sure, I got 12 hits, 8 of them bounced off. Ha. Should have paid attention. I thought the other mountain was the one that was in the way. Ooh, somebody torped. Oh, the Schultz. Good use of torpedoes, sir.
Well done, Commander.
Hey, Slacker and Beezer. Welcome aboard, gentlemen.
Get back!
The other side does not seem to be doing as well as we are. I have the advantage of being mostly behind this island.
Smoke generator started. Smoke screen set.
Oh, he wants to come out and play.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Affirmative.
Not gonna get a shot at him, I don't think. Unless he runs aground. Oh, he's trying to circle away. I will get shot at him. One nice thing about this fight, it just became 3-on-1. And the Cyclone is moved in. Get my guns aiming the other way, and I can advance on that battleship, the Italian, the Federico Caricciololi, or whatever that is. No, I can't, because there's an enemy destroyer unaccounted for. And my primary goal in life is to destroy destroyers. I did not expect him to come into range. Now watch this. We lost the cap point. I need Hydro. He thinks he's coming out sneaky-like.
Main turret critically damaged. The enemy is about to win.
Now I'll use the British print-to-ship program. Coming in here to where the rune is gives him the aid of my sonar, and my sonar is about to cut out. Now I get the aid of his sonar.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
You just told me they were about to win, so of course they took the lead. Let's see if I can guess. He did not get a shot off on me. But if that rune pokes out and he sees him, I can put a shot or two into him. I'm just hoping that my torpedoes find a destroyer. We are about to lose. Not gonna get another shot. Maybe I'll get another shot.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
He wasn't even pretending he was going to turn. No, it wasn't over, but it was for me. There was no way I was going to do enough damage to pull us back. And we lost everything on the other side. This is my top tier British cruiser. And one of the nice things about the Edinburgh is it's not really a light cruiser. It still only has one type of ammo. But if you take into account the pure bulk of the ship, she's kind of heavy. Give her something nice to wear. There we go. Again, no carriers made it into the battle. I don't know what's going on with this. I am very, very, very much surprised. But again, this time it's tier 9 and I'm a tier 8 cruiser. I stand a slightly better chance. What I just did there with my torpedoes is
Good
I
luck and fair seas.
switched them from all 3 tubes firing at once to
Good luck. and
fire
fair
each tube
seas.
individually on each side. The British cruisers, and I think some of the destroyers, have that option, and it's actually quite valuable. Alright, the St. Louis is coming to assist us, as is the North Carolina. We have a North Carolina on this side. I hope they realize that I am still, even though I'm a heavy light cruiser, I'm still a light cruiser as far as armament goes. St. Louis has got a very impressive gun deck. So she can lay down fire better than most ships her size. The ships before her, the Charleston, the Phoenix, they're actually quite impressive as well with their amount of firepower. It's low tier, so it's not very heavy damage. World War I era guns. But St. Louis is no slouch in that department. my fighter aircraft is useless. Well, mostly useless. In the event that I know a destroyer is
All
nearby,
stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
I can use the fighter to help me spot torpedoes that I haven't seen yet. Two advantages to that enemy destroyer smoking up. One, he can't see us. Two, we know where he basically is. I don't need my hydro right now because I'm too far to detect the ship, and our friendly destroyer already saw the torpedoes.
Dead ahead. Torpedoes, direct front. All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Torpedoes, dead ahead. All stations, protect that target.
Well done, Commander. Get back!
I'd like to know how he's
The ship is on
targeted
fire.
me. And I know who did it. It's the Constellation. He is planning on shooting me some more. What he does not know is I am not where he thinks I am. He's outside of sonar range. However, he also has a problem, is his support sailed away. And he turned his guns away from me. Well, some of them.
All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
Enemy battleship detected.
Constellation turned off.
Reporting the position of a strategic target.
He could have turned directly in on me, but he didn't. And now the North Carolina has my back.
Attention, reporting the target position.
We still have a missing Minakaze over here. That is a Japanese destroyer. Japanese destroyers are no joke on torpedoes, especially a Minakaze. If this was not a AP-only armed cruiser, I would happily be firing HE at his butt.
Teammate, I need your support.
She is fast for a battleship, let me tell you.
Roger.
And that's the end of the Constellation. I'd like to know where those 3 torpedoes came from, though.
Requesting support.
I do not know if the Constellation has torpedoes. I am spotted, which makes me believe there is a destroyer looking at me.
Our team has taken the lead.
But I am not being targeted, which tells me that the Laszlo was not the source of that gunfire up ahead. Yep, the Lazo is all the way across the map. So we've got either the Minakaze or or the Kitakaze, sorry, or the Fletcher ahead of us somewhere. When you're unsure about the disposition of a destroyer, you do not want to sail at constant speed, or I am now the closest to somebody who has direction finding. I believe that makes
I
it
need
that way.
intelligence data.
One of the key things to know about radio direction finding is once you're spotted inside that dotted line and you're the primary vehicle, They have to be when he switched from...
Roger.
When he switched from the North Carolina to me being the closest ship he could see, he had to have been in this direction, not towards the center. But again, the key with a destroyer is not to give him a constant course
Concentrate fire on the enemy
or a
warship.
pattern that he can defeat. That North Carolina is getting ready to sail out of the center or into the center area, which puts me in a position of having to go back to defend capture point A. And now I have lost my sonar. But
Fighter airborne.
my fighter can see incoming enemy torpedoes. And we are going to win this match. I'm no longer spotted. The Kitakaze has got to have moved off in that direction. Once I am no longer radio located, that'll tell me
Our victory is in sight.
he's over there somewhere. Probably near where that Lazo was last spotted.
Fighter returning to ship.
But remember, we're winning over 800. We don't need, and there goes the radio direction finding. He is about where we saw that
Battle ends
Lazo
in 5
last.
minutes.
Well, now Lazo's in the other cap. Aha! Now I'm the closest to whoever it is that's got the radio direction finder. I still say it's a destroyer, and he's right out there. And I will put an island between me and him. He is straight out that way. So I'm going to put him as right there. Now what I do because I've broken contact, he can't see me. I will now change course and heading. And if this cap zone becomes contested, I will then first use the aircraft to try and spot him. And if that doesn't immediately pay dividends, well, we won. If the aircraft didn't pay dividends, then I could use the... Yeah, that's where the torpedoes came from, but he's so fast, especially if he was the Kitakaze. He could have been in the middle of the map, and he was actually closer to the middle than when he reacquired me. He actually went back to the west edge of the map. You have to think like a little Japanese destroyer to beat a Japanese destroyer. This is a special camouflage that I won in one of the special Halloween events where we became space cruisers. Still on a flat plane. It wasn't... It wasn't super, super cool. Oh. I want to take a look at this. Yep. See, it says Space Warship there? I won that skin in one of the Space Cruiser battles. And as you can see, it's all sci-fi'd out. And it'll shoot little... plasma bolt looking things. But if he was going to try and come in and capture that control point, he would have had the... If he got inside the border, we stopped gaining points for it. So if it suddenly went from square to diamond, I'd know he came in. I could throw my plane in the air. If he's too far away from my plane to see, I could then hit the hydroacoustic search and come out from around that island. The hydro would warn me of incoming torpedoes early, and if he's close enough, would help me find him.
Good luck and fair seas.
Only one carrier per side. And it's a Ruriho. Who's the... They got a Ranger, so... I affectionately call this French cruiser the La Gasolone, because it burns like it's made of gasoline.
I need help. Affirmative.
Thank you.
I don't like traveling at full throttle before we see the enemy and before we know their disposition.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
You can hear my little laser blaster.
Enemy cruiser detected.
That Kirov just took a massive hit. Clearly took a Citadel penetrating hit. Now the Leander here is a Light cruiser. Damn it. Keep him spotted.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Acknowledged.
Enemy cruiser foundered. Off to a great start.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, direct front.
We still don't know where their second destroyer is. Yes, we do. He's right there.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Roger.
Watch this shit.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Confirmed penetration.
Turn towards the destroyer.
Torpedoes to port.
Engine boost activated.
Our team has taken the lead.
Enemy battleship sighted.
The October Revolution. Or the Bayern. Which one is it that we spotted? Doesn't much matter because this Rusky is in torpedo range, but he's not planning on coming out from behind this island.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
And he's not aimed correctly.
All stations requesting fire on the designated.
Oh, those torpedoes look good too. Not a bad result on that one.
Enemy cruiser detected. Enemy destroyer detected.
Let's increase my rate of fire.
Main turret critically damaged. Problem solved, sir.
Our team has taken the lead.
Engine boost deactivated.
Don't sail into my torpedoes. That would be the stupidest thing you've ever done. Oh yes, please, Ranger, come see me. Hey, Mikey! Welcome aboard. Sorry I didn't see you come in. I was a little bit preoccupied. See, that Ranger is a threat to most of the fleet because torpedo bombers are really difficult. But I have an anti-aircraft consumable, which means I can double my rate of fire.
Intelligence data.
I'm spotted by a ship. It can't be the Ranger because he is behind the island. Don't have a shot on him. Let's get
Engine
faster.
boost activated.
Ooh, the Candor wasn't here. Or car door, or back door, whatever he is. Now, he has no idea I'm coming around this side of the island. Some of his guns are pointed this way, though. If he survives those first two torps, I got him. Turn towards the Andrea Doria. Ah, that hurt. And as you can see, when I die in the most sci-fi way possible. Having 74,000 damage in a tier 6, not a bad total. The Andrea Doria is not likely to survive. I specifically want to go aboard the destroyer. Thank you. See those triple torpedo tubes?
Our victory is in sight.
Get the Andrea Doria to commit, and then throw torpedoes at him at angles that he has to eat some of them. Yes, the Andrea Doria. And apparently, according to the data given to us when the ship came into the game, it was actually the name of an Italian battleship. Take that with however many grains of salt you need. Our victorious destroyer. And our Leander, who I did not see the whole game, but apparently did quite well for himself. Let's see. He got Confederate and he got Dreadnought. Okay. And all right, the Piotr Levicki got close quarter expert, which means that he killed at least one of his enemies with secondary guns. Amateur. This person does not have many battles in. Yep, there it goes. 17 battles played, 58% win rate. E-girls contact me. What a great name. So the Kirov we ironically did the least damage to. The October Revolution probably would have sunk if it wasn't for other damage coming in. And where is the Andrea Doria? There she is. Only $2,000. Italian battleships are very maneuverable. What's it? My highest tier Italian cruiser. By the way, we are on the cruiser screen right now. Not a bad little ship here at tier 6. But, she's highly visible. 14.5 kilometers away you can see this son of a gun. Torpedo range is 12 kilometers, so almost as far away as you can see her, she can torpedo you. But you will see her before the torpedoes are launchable. Well, in standard action, you'd see her first. And then the Zara comes next, which we may not see for a little while, because I don't see my ship getting... what's my current... do I have any experience in a ship? 0 experience in a ship, so I just used free XP to upgrade. It's easy to tell when I do something. It's easy to tell when I do something with free XP because the ship experience goes to 0. So she needed to get outfitted for... and let's see where is my... there it is, my veteran's flag. What is this one? Ah, that was the Russian Navy event. I got both the honor and glory flags. And of course we got the Year of the Dog. The Valentine's Day special flag for 2017. These I don't own yet. Oh wait, do I own this one? I do. So I made the Battle of Dunkirk, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, and the Port of Hamburg. But I prefer flying my military veteran flag. I would love to know on the real boat what this is. It seems like it breaks the aerodynamics or the hydrodynamics of the hull horribly because it's not symmetrical. But hey, what do I know? I don't design ships for a living. I just fight them. Watch, this time one carrier's waiting, so we'll get 2 on a team. And 3 of them will be bots. No, no carriers, okay. If you take a look around us, the Kansas is almost the same length as, or I am almost the same length as the Kansas. Kansas is a battleship.
Battle starts.
Good luck and fair seas.
It looks to me like the Ashan is going for B. So my best maneuver is to abandon A and support him in his taking of B. If he turns right really quickly, I still have time to maneuver. Because he no longer looks like he's going for B. In fact, the Gallant went for B. I have been spotted. That means that there is a destroyer inside the cap there. I have 3 battleships targeting me currently. North Carolina, and a Bismarck. Luckily, they have battleship accuracy. So at this range, I only lost about half my ship. Now, unfortunately, this ship does not have the luxury of a spotting aircraft or hydroacoustic search. I have a fighter aircraft, which I can use to look for ships that are kinda close, but I've been detected. That means that that destroyer just popped out over here. Because if you notice, putting this island on my side did not take away the detection. Now, unfortunately, with the Bismarck over there,
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Fighter airborne.
and just like another semi-famous Italian sea captain, I've managed to run aground. Unlike him, my ship is still sailable. I've been targeted. By whom, I'm not sure. It is that North Carolina that I've already targeted. That Bismarck.
Fighter returning to ship. Concentrate fire on the designated torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes to starboard.
Enemy battleship sighted.
I need to angle correctly.
The ship is on fire.
Because the Bismarck has me by the flank right now, and his guns are more accurate than the other two.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Problem solved, sir.
Confirmed penetration.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
Nice way to sneak that destroyer kill. And now I can retreat. North Carolina still has range to me. But I'm no longer spotted by anybody. And I still have range to the Bismarck.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Really? You say so,
Our
game.
team has taken the lead.
I do not want to give the Bismarck my flank.
Our victory is in sight.
And in case you didn't see that, that was the enemy still trying to take out me. from halfway across the map. I'm less than half health. Plunging fire. Any of the battleships on the enemy team could take me out in one solid hit. Doesn't even have to be a citadel. Just needs to be a good solid hit.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Just barely missed him. He threw all his torpedoes in one attack. He never went undetected.
Our victory is in sight.
So one of the things I can still do is I have what's called a creeping smoke screen. The smoke itself doesn't last very long, but I don't have to slow down as much, and I can use it as a getaway device. So if I need to, I can throw smoke and run. I can outrun every one of their battleships.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Colorado is apparently going for Cap Point C along with their destroyer. They're going to try and extend this game as long as they can. Ranger. I'm clearing up some missions. Still not getting high in my team rankings. Let's take a look at my stats. Haven't done that in a couple of weeks. I'm still at 50% victories. And I have a positive destruction ratio. Anything over 1 means I've destroyed more enemy ships than have destroyed me. But here's the numbers I'm looking at right now. Destroyers, carriers, my 2 least used classes, US and French are about equal. UK, okay, these 3 are about equal. The Italians have almost nothing. Tiny little nothings. Yeah. Commonwealth ships, only 16 battles, but there's not many of them, so it's a little bit, it's not as unfair as it seems. German ships 900 and Japanese ships, well, over 1100. But most of my premium ships are Japanese, so that actually makes sense. So we should go with cruisers and carriers for the remainder. So let's... I said cruisers, I meant destroyers. And no tier limit. There's the Minakaze. That's a Japanese destroyer. In case you couldn't tell from the name. They have 3 double launcher, centerline mounted torpedo tubes. If you take a look at her torpedo range is 7 kilometers. Her concealment range by sea is 6.2. That means I have 800 meters of space where I have guaranteed target acquisition that they can't see me. And I can throw 6 torpedoes at them and scoot. I've never given this much in equipment because, of course, it leads to another ship, the Hatsuharu. I already earned it experience-wise, I just haven't bought it. Because the Fubuki is another Japanese carrier, or destroyer. What's my experience currently? 69, so let's upgrade everything, and this leads on to the Akatsuki. This is a fairly well-liked destroyer. I don't know much about it. But since I don't do a lot with destroyers, excellent time to get my feet wet. I'm going to take my chances I won't see a magazine detonation. And let's make her harder to see. And as you can see, this is definitely an interwar period destroyer. The canopy over the bridge is canvas. The railings around the elevated structures are all canvas. That will have been replaced by either steel rails or steel plates in later versions of these ships. When we got into the construction for World War II, almost everything is given at least small arms protection. But remember, during World War I, we had the advent of the torpedo boat. And the destroyer was actually developed to counter the torpedo boat. It was only after the war that they started putting torpedoes on the destroyers themselves. They were originally called torpedo destroyers because they were to target torpedo boats, not because they carried torpedoes. We're tier 5 battle. We are top tier. And there's 4 of us. Hopefully the Clemson works with me.
Battle starts.
Detection distance is different for every ship.
Capture that area.
There's a mandatory detection distance, which is roughly the same as on every ship. around 2 kilometers, you're going to detect an enemy ship, whether it's on the other side of a smoke screen or even if it's on the other side of an island. There's just too much activity to on board a ship to not be detected. The Clemson isn't even moving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick peek at him. I can't see his rear guns. He may not have connected properly. That happens. Or he may literally be either AFK or intentionally sitting still with the idea that he has the opportunity to protect himself by not being a primary ship in the battle. I'm still capturing. That's a good sign. Capture process still going. It stopped. Enemy ship has entered the capture area. I have been sonar detected. Sonar no longer applicable.
Critical engine damage.
Let's get some smoke out.
Smoke generator started. Torpedoes to port. Smoke screen set.
As you can see, I still have torpedoes.
The ship is on fire. Problem
Enemy
solved,
cruiser
sir.
sighted.
My smoke is about to
The enemy
die.
team has taken the lead.
Lieutenant, knock it off.
Don't fire at your allies.
I didn't. My allies actually had to work very hard to get one of my torpedoes to hit them. Okay, as I said, either that Clemson was hoping to hold his own.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Early by not fighting, or he connected very slowly. Hard to believe that the Carl Shoe is the first one I could shoot at. Now remember, there's such a thing as guaranteed detection range that Carl Shoe could get into it. Even with the smoke, he would be detectable. I've been hydroacoustics found. Not a good thing for a destroyer and a smoke screen.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
But the Carl Shoe is moved to a position where his hydro didn't help him.
Torpedoes to starboard. Smoke generator started.
That's how it's done.
Smoke screen set. Engine boost activated.
8% faster. Thank you for spotting and killing him.
Torpedoes astern. Torpedoes astern.
Yeah, some of them are mine. I can't go on the side of the island I want to.
about to win.
It's quite possible that De Ruyter is properly using
Engine
his
boost
maneuverability.
deactivated.
But as I explained before, that dotted line is my spotting line, and the solid line is my torpedo line. If I can get enemy ships in torpedo range without seeing me, I have at least a chance to take them down. One of the nice things about Japanese destroyer torpedoes is they has big boom. Königsberg is no longer in A. I can safely go capture A. Wish I still had a little bit of engine boost, but by the time I can use it, I'll be entering the capture circle, and I don't want to use it while I'm sitting still. Obviously. Not gonna make it in. But I did rob them of some victory points by not killing me. Destroyer fight is a very different battle than a cruiser or a battleship. So what I am going to do, and this was a horrible team battle, I probably came in last. No, somebody did worse than me. Wow. What did he get? Ooh, devastating strike. That's a good shot. Alright. I'm going to take a quick 3 to 5 minute break. Refill your drinks, grab a new snack. Relieve yourself if necessary. I will be back in 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to play just some carriers for a little bit, because I'm a little bit better at them, a little bit more experience with them, and I have enough of them to be entertaining. I'll be right back. I am back. I hope everybody had a good chance to take a break. I'm going to start with a Tier 4 carrier. One of the nice things about the carriers is I don't have to worry about camouflage paint, specialty flags, nothing. Because they're either spotted or they're not. There's no in between for these guys. And they have special circumstances. You see this? I don't do anything. They just happen. The action time is longer than most repair or damage control parties. And the reload time is faster. It's very difficult to take out a carrier with direct fire. It's not impossible, but usually it's torpedoes or attack aircraft. She does get pissed when the torpedoes come at her dad. I don't know if I like the summer ale this year from Sam Adams. It's a little more citrusy than I like. Annihilation. You'll need to be more specific. I've seen a movie listed by that name. I've seen games with that name in their title. I'd like to be able to answer that honestly. I've seen a trailer for a movie with that name. Don't know where I saw it. I think it was on YouTube. I think it was shared by somebody who's on my watch list. We have plenty of ships waiting for battle. Whatever they did to change the matchmaker has really slowed down the connection time. 12 ships per team. It's 24 ships per match. When we start seeing 40, 48, 50 people waiting, it boggles my mind. And notice the carriers, we've only had one drop out. And that he dropped out of the queue. He didn't get into a battle because it would have been two who left if they got into a battle. Now, theoretically, the matchmaker is matching the teams by the competency of the players. If that's the case, I don't mind waiting an extra minute, because that means I'm going to be facing players who are about equal to myself. And as I improve, I will face better and better players. But I've seen no write-up saying that they're changing anything about the way they look at the player scores of the players involved. Okay, the main armament of this carrier is, of course, the aircraft.
General quarters.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Approaching target.
Let's give them a hard time.
I am detected by a surface ship. Bad move, Marblehead. Your fighter is voluntary. And you run out of those.
Waypoint reached.
Now you see out there that Congo that's moving towards the De Ruyter? He's all alone.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
The De Ruyter is all alone, and the Congo is out of position to support him with AA.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target. Concentrate fire on the designated target. Nice work.
Now then, Marblehead. You have the distinct honor of being my first rocket attack victim. The rockets on a German carrier aircraft are armor piercing. So I can go right through the side of a ship like the Marblehead.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
Oh, they fired those rockets way too fast. That is not the way that's supposed to work.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Target.
They're supposed to strafe the area for a couple of seconds, and then they launch their rockets. They fired like 2 bullets and then went in there.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Acknowledged.
You'll see that the green bar is dropping, and now it's increasing. That's an engine boost. I have an engine boost consumable that allows me to run the engine booster a lot longer, but it recovers very slowly when you let off the gas. He's going to launch his fighter, or if he doesn't, he's going to take some torpedoes. Well, he might still take torpedoes even though he's going to launch his fighter.
Good show. Many thanks.
Hit! Beezer, it's hard to annoy this crew. And no, that was not a challenge.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Oh, is he not moving? That would be a mistake. Alright, he's moving now, even if he was stationary. He will launch fighters. He will have high AA. And there is still a decent chance that I'm going to get a hit on him. Barely missed.
Autopilot mode enabled.
That alarm is that my ship is maneuvering between rocks, but it's on autopilot, so it should not have a issue with that. The Wyoming is coming to try and rescue the carrier. It will be my distinct pleasure to stick a fork in him.
Good show.
Our victory is in sight.
Capture that area. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Acknowledged.
Good show. I owe you one. All stations, reporting the position of a strategic target.
Affirmative.
Our victory is in sight.
Capture that area.
Waypoint reached.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Our victory is in sight.
Good game, everyone.
Well, I probably sucked. Yeah. Now for something completely different. With a German carrier, your rockets are armor piercing, your torpedoes are fast, and your dive bombers are also armor piercing. Your rockets are for cruisers, your torpedoes are for destroyers, and your bombers are for battleships. British carriers, your torpedoes are slower, they're for cruisers. Your rockets are high explosive, they're for destroyers. And your dive bombers are high explosive, but they drop lots of small bombs. And they carpet an area. So they can be used against destroyers, cruisers, or battleships. And yes, you can use your torpedoes against battleships. They are sufficiently destructive. However, sufficiently destructive is sometimes not enough. And I myself prefer Japanese and American carriers from what I've played. Of course, they were the first two nations with carriers in-game, so that I probably have experience bias with them. But I actually miss the way the carriers used to work. Long time ago, you didn't actually control the aircraft until you were above a certain tier. There were more carriers. There was a carrier for every tier from 4 up.
General quarters.
Autopilot mode enabled.
See how slow that was? That's what I expected with the last carrier. We should expect a destroyer coming in roughly from over here. Based on where our destroyer came in from. I can't believe you bastards couldn't hit the broadside of a barn! Now this is what the British dive bombers do. A lot more effective than just dropping 2 powerful bombs. And the nice thing about the destroyer is he's not immune to these. He's moving fairly quickly. I can spot him. And I still hit him with 3 bombs on that second pass. Now notice, my carrier was detected by enemy torpedo bombers and attacked. And I have no damage. The Texas is going to the other side of the map. The Oklahoma is heading for the center. Guess where I'm going? By the way, these are the precursor plane to the plane that actually torpedoed the Bismarck.
Team has taken the lead.
That one might miss. Hard to tell. Yeah. But the Oklahoma has the misfortune of having put himself in a very bad position. In order to dodge my torpedoes, he put himself in a bad place, and the Texas had to come out to try and help him. So now it's my turn to try and punish the Texas. Which will, of course, be upsetting because I kind of love the Texas. But she made the mistake of being outside of mutual air support range. Ooh, somebody launched a consumable. Send one of these back to the ship. I am now going after their Langley. Their Langley does have enough surface speed to catch up with the Omaha, but only if he put on the speed a long time ago.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
Acknowledged.
Fighter airborne.
The Omaha is dying. The Langley is gone. I will head for the Phoenix. I am being targeted by direct fire, which is most likely that Phoenix. But because he's being targeted by direct fire, he is trying to get some distance. And there goes Phoenix. Ooh, I missed! The Iron Duke has a longer AA range than many ships.
Torpedoes astern.
We have
Torpedoes astern.
an enemy destroyer launching torpedoes at me from behind.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
cruiser destroyed.
Send one of these guys back to the carrier. We methodically take apart the Iron Duke.
The enemy is about to win.
That one's gonna hit.
The enemy is about to win.
Come on, pig planes, get moving.
You are the last hope.
Now I can't die.
Torpedoes astern. Torpedoes astern.
That was me dying on my attack run. If our destroyer was still alive, my plane stayed active. Unfortunately, he wasn't. That is a good showing for what I felt I did. Okay, look at that damage. Just short of 4,000. For a torpedo, I should say. Now look at that damage. 4,500. Did 600 more to the Phoenix. That's because the Iron Duke has, with the same torpedo, has tougher torpedo armor. I hit one torpedo here and did 4,600. Almost 100 more than the cruiser. The Langley has less. But now look at here. 38, 39. Oklahoma has a thicker torpedo belt. Tends to be, in my experience, the ship with the lesser anti-aircraft rating has a thicker torpedo belt in battleships. Which means that you have to hit them in the nose, between the forward turret and the nose, or between the aft caisson and the stern. The torpedo belt runs straight up the center line of the ship. But Hitting just in front of the torpedo belt can be devastating on a ship like a battleship. You hit 2 watertight compartments at the same time, you can do full damage to the torpedo because it's not the armored belt. Hawk. Ooh, 4 carriers. The enemy rain is going to be gunning for me first. So my best bet is, let's see, dive bombers to start,
Action stations.
Autopilot mode enabled.
and I should be trying to get near my rain. 2 carriers together will have an awful lot of AA firepower. I'm hoping I'm going to catch a destroyer coming into the center here. I did, but I was going the wrong way for him.
Fighter airborne. Requesting support. Fighter airborne. Requesting assistance.
Phoenix is charging in, trying to lend his AA support to the destroyer. Little, too late.
I need support.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
Now, one of the things I'm doing here is keeping him busy.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
Autopilot mode enabled.
I love how the game decides which way you're going to turn, even if you've got your rudder hard over the other way.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Affirmative.
Problem solved, sir.
Enemy battleship foundered.
Rookie move, Wyoming.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled. Autopilot mode enabled.
Okay, I have to count on the rain to kill the Wyoming with the Isuzuchi's assistance. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
The fact that Wyoming is still alive is bothering me.
Autopilot.
Fighter returning to ship.
enemy battleship.
Boy, I hope that these two have taken a beating. Because we certainly have.
Battle ends in 5 minutes. We've sunk an enemy aircraft carrier. You are the last hope.
Ah, shiza.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Really? That drop point was outside of the water. I know it was because I purposely waited for it to get out of the water, into the water.
Fighter airborne.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled. Autopilot mode enabled.
Oh, that was a hell of a carrier duel. I love the guy who was talking shit about how we were idiots. We accounted for 7 of our team's 11 kills. And as you can see, it's not a lack of damage that I did. Now, granted, the Langley, I didn't have to do a lot of damage to him. But I did damage to the Rhine and the Phoenix and the I-170 or the VZ-170. He's listed as V-170. He has a Z in there somewhere. And of course, the massive amount of damage I did to the Wyoming. There is nothing to be ashamed of in doing that much damage in a Tier 4 carrier. Unfortunately, one of the floods I got was on the carrier. Very hard to sink a carrier. You've got to cause a fire or flood, get them to use their damage control, which is automatic. Then over 60 seconds later, but less than 180 seconds later, you have to cause a fire or flood again. And you get whatever the difference in time is for that accumulated damage. If you're good and you hit right on the 61 second mark, you get a maximum of 90 seconds of flood or fire damage to the ship. Unfortunately, with a British carrier, fire damage is going to be relatively light. It's more frequent because the dive bombers do damage more frequently, fire damage more frequently. But the initial damage is less and the fire is a shorter duration. Flooding damage is par for the course. I am going to move my ship
Autopilot mode
in here. There he is. Now you saw the red tracers, right? That was his defensive fire consumable, which is now on cooldown. And I score a hit. Just one. But it's a good start. And there is my nemesis.
Torpedoes to starboard. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
That's going to be a hit. The Orion and the Koenig are not moving together. Why, I don't know.
Problem solved, sir.
Looks to me like an excellent time to go pick on that Omaha. Or, yeah, the Omaha.
Waypoint reached.
Smoke up, V-170.
Waypoint reached.
That October Revolution has to go down. Bad news, Rusky. Players.
Fighter airborne. I need help.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
Damn it. Boy, sometimes I think my team is NPCs. Emil Bartan should be dead. Don't even tell me my team stopped firing at him.
sight.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Our victory is in sight.
Autopilot mode enabled.
I can't believe the revolution is still going too. There he is. Now they shoot short.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled.
All I had to do was hit him to stop him from capping. I have a full squadron of torpedoes. coming back online. So go ahead and dive bomb him. Ooh, you gonna smack him before the timer runs out? We still win. Judah! Welcome aboard! And my not nephew. How is everybody tonight, by the way? I forgot to ask earlier, but now there's a larger crowd, so... How'd I do? Middle of the pack, I'm not going to complain. A little bit below average there, but... I could have done better, but it was a British carrier. No offense to you British. It's game mechanic, not real world mechanic. But now we're in Tier 6. And that lets me play the Rio. Now I want to point out something here. This was one of the early carriers of World War II. In more than one occasion, she launched a plane out of this rear hangar. Therefore, this rear superstructure was not there when that happened. In 1942, I believe she had a flight deck extension. That might be when that was added, though. Now, as I said earlier, I really like the American and the Japanese carriers. They play differently than the German and the British. But they play similarly to each other. Probably why the Pacific Theater was such a seesaw in the early war. Oh, geez, I hate this game. This mode of battle is the absolute worst.
Good luck, everyone.
Action stations.
In fair seas.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Fighter airborne.
Already spotted the Ranger. Let's take an attack run.
Fighter airborne.
The Graf Spee needs to be attacked. Boy, that was a good hit, and it still sucked. And there's two Graf Spees. Oh my lord.
Teammate, I need your support.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Oh, you're shitting me. I just watched the bomb hit the deck. Looks like the Giulio Cesare got
Waypoint reached.
stranded by the two Graf Spes. Cavour is not alone.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
I just saw fire coming out of nowhere, so that means that son of a gun is right in front of me somewhere. There he is.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Taking the lead.
Acknowledged.
Waypoint reached.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
That was an important kill. Hey, Mountain, have a torpedo. You can see how small my detection circle is compared to in the earlier carrier fighters. This allows me to circle and get the flanking shots I need.
The enemy is about to win.
The enemy is about to win. They're down to just a handful of ships. At this point, I'm just trying to do damage.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode disabled. Autopilot mode enabled.
If it wasn't for that New Mexico, I could have done a proper torpedo run.
You are the last hope.
Thank God they won before I had a fight. Oh, that was terrible. How bad did we do? That should not have been where I ended up. That damage total was not worth a middle of the team. Two torpedoes for 10,000. I might have got a third torpedo on him if we had lasted a few seconds longer. But if you look at the damage the torpedoes do, maximum torpedo damage is 6,500. So I was only 300 short of maximum damage on him with those two torpedoes. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. As much as I complain about some of the random dice rolls, I do enjoy the game. I appreciate you coming out for the up to 3.5 hours that we've played tonight. I hope that everything is going well for you. Until next time, I'm going to try and run a stream tomorrow. Don't know what it's going to be. Fallout is off the table until I fix the install. So until then, it's hit or miss. I'll throw something together. But until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of friends and family. Check in on them. Make sure everybody's okay. I am Rob, and I hope you have a wonderful night.